Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to be showing you if it's possible to run a SRAM mountain bike cassette. That's a 1042 cassette with a Shimano Ultegra RX rear derailleur. So let's go ahead, let's run through the steps. Right, so here we have the current setup on the bike. And you can see it uses a Shimano cassette and a Shimano chain. This is using a 1132 cassette at the minute, and it's got the Ultegra RX800 clutch rear derailleur on the bike. So what we need to do is exchange that cassette out for a SRAM. This is a 1042 cassette, so it's XD driver cassette, so we need to change the freer body as well for an XD freer body to accommodate this cassette, being as this is a mountain bike cassette. So what we got to do first is remove the cassette. This is Shimano cassette, so we need to replace it with the SRAM cassette. This is a mountain bike cassette, XD. So what you need to do is get whatever wheel you've got, get yourself the XD freer body for your appropriate, whatever wheel manufacturer you've got. Most of the wheels, the modern wheels, you can buy the replacement freer bodies, so you can change it from a SRAM to a Shimano or from Shimano to a SRAM XD. So if you look for your particular wheel and find the kit to convert it with the end cap for the drive side, they usually come with. So if you do that, then obviously it'd be different on different wheels. But if you need to know how to do a DT Swiss one, then I'll put a link up on the screen so you can see that. Right, so you see the SRAM cassette installed, and there's the Shimano 1132. So we'll go ahead, we'll get that fitted back on the bike. So we've got the wheel mounted back in the bike, as you can see. Now, being as this is a Shimano RX Ultegra 800 rear derailleur, then it will go up to a 40 cassette on the back. So if you got, say, a mountain bike cassette, like an 1140 Shimano cassette, it will take that, no problem, with this derailleur without doing anything to it. But because this is a 42 cassette, so if you had a Shimano 42 cassette it'd be the same, but like I said, this is a SRAM. But because the biggest is 42 tooth sprocket, with this you can adjust the B screw all the way in and you still won't have enough clearance quite for the chain to pass through. So this, if this was a GRX rear derailleur, the 812 rear derailleur, then they accommodate a 42 rear cassette standard. So you could adjust the B screw and it accommodate this cassette, no problem. But like I said, if this was an Ultegra 8000, it'd be the same thing, but long cage. This is an RX 800, and the cage, they don't do a short cage. This is the only one they do. So it's a longer cage one. So what I've got to do on this to accommodate the 42, like I said, if this was a 40, you wouldn't have to do anything. You just adjust your B screw and that's all you'd have to do. But like I said, what we got to do is remove the original B screw. So what I'll do is I'll take this out, just a case of 2mm hex head, we just unthread it all the way out. I'll just get that removed. Even though they're quite long, they're just not quite long enough. Once you removed it, got to be careful, there's a piece of plastic on the end there. Just don't lose that. It's very small. And then what we need to do is just replace it with a slightly longer B screw. As you can see there, it's that much longer. So we need to thread that in. Put the piece of plastic in first, and we'll simply get that started in there. once I've got that threaded in, I'll just come back to you. So now I've got the longer B screw put in there. Now what I can do is you can shift up like so, and then as you can see now it easily goes far enough and it's not in the way of fouling the 42 sprocket on the back. So you've got a gap there that now can be adjusted once we've got the chain on, final adjustment there, but it'll easily go over there, and I've still got about 5mm of thread there left on the B screw, so it can easily accommodate it now. So what I'll do is I'll just put the chain on, and then we can try the gears. Right, so we got the chain back in place. Now what we've done is resize the chain, because this is a new chain. So this is a Shimano chain. You could run a SRAM 11 speed chain, it wouldn't make any difference. Now you have to resize it to match now the larger rear cassette. This just happens to have a single ring on the front, 46 tooth single ring on the front. So obviously whatever you've got on the front, now you have to match it. You have to resize your chain to match the rear. So I suggest just getting a new chain while you're out to match the new cassette, and then size it appropriately. So as you see, we're on the 10 at the back now. So we just run up to the 42 sprocket. Right, so there you have it on the 42 tooth. Now all we've done is, like I showed with the extended B screw, is just altered it so as the chain passes cleanly through there, about a 7mm gap for the chain to pass cleanly off the largest sprocket onto the top, to the guide wheel of the derailleur, and that's all we've done. We haven't touched the low or the high screw in any way, because it was already set for an 11 speed cassette beforehand, so we haven't touched anything there. If this is 11 speed cassette, as was the Shimano 11 speed cassettes, we haven't done anything with the high or low adjustments. We haven't done anything with any adjustments apart from the B screw there. We've just put the slightly longer one in, that's all we've done. So you can see, go straight up to the 42 tooth, no problem. So there's the installation complete. So might be helpful to someone if you need the extra, if you need the 10 tooth on the back for a little extra speed on a downhill, whatever, than you had with the Shimano cassette. So will it work on there? Yes, it will. So you can go ahead and fit one without no problems at all. So if you had a GRX rear derailleur, you wouldn't have to make any B screw adjustments because they go up to a 42 anyway. Or like I said, you could just run your normal cassette on there, your 42 tooth with 11 as the smallest cog, but this is just to show that this is a SRAM, like I said, cassette, so it's mountain bike cassette, so it will fit with the using a Shimano derailleur. It will accommodate the 10 tooth with the smallest sprocket on the back. Right, so you found the video helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till the next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.